Peace and love. It's good to be back here again. We're going to do a goddess reading. Let me get a sip of my tea. Hold on. And so, whenever you come across this, it's timeless. There could be a message in here for you. So, let's see. We're going to use the Goddess Oracle, the Crystal Reading cards, and the Soul Wisdom cards. Soul Wisdom Oracle. All right, Spirit. And I'm going to keep it nice and short. Spirit, what message do you have for us today? What goddess wants to reveal herself to us today? Give us a message on our healing and our movement forward. Thank you. All right, so we have Lilith with power. Spirit is saying that we are powerful, embracing the shadow. So, give me one moment. All right, so Lilith is a goddess to be feared by some, but she's powerful because she understands her shadow aspects, okay? And so that's what we have here with embracing the shadow. Understanding the shadow, all right? Realizing that it's a part of who we are, honoring the shadow, bringing it up so that we have an understanding of what it is and who we are in our fullness, and working towards healing those things that keep us from moving forward, okay? It's not the best thing to always operate in shadow energy, okay? That's not the way we want to live our lives. But we want to understand the shadow, and we want to realize that even in sometimes that shadow can play a part in our movement forward in our spiritual practice, okay? We don't want to hide from it. And then underneath it, we have Pachamama. This was Inanna. And then we have Pachamama with healing, holy, okay? So honoring the body, honoring the mind, honoring the spirit, honoring Mother Earth here with this energy. All right, not fearing the self with Kali, not fearing who you are, not fearing those darker sides of yourself, okay? Then we have sexuality as well underneath Freya. So honoring your body as a woman in all your phases, that's what I get with this. Loving and delighting in who you are. Being open with who you are, being accepting of who you are. And for some of us, being sensual, more, being more sensual. And being sensual doesn't have to be, it's not the idea of being with somebody else. It's just delighting in your own sensuality. That could be something as simple as, loving on your body, wearing something beautiful, slathering yourself with a beautiful oil and just letting you know that you're beautiful as you're putting it on. Running yourself a bubble bath with some flowers. Like I said earlier, wearing something that feels good on the skin. Loving yourself in all your phases here with the sexuality card. Not being afraid of being intimate with others, okay, with sexuality. And true intimacy, all right? True intimacy, where you're being vulnerable. All right, so we'll leave both of these out. Let's see, what else do you have for us with embracing the shadow and power? Lilith, the idea of this particular card with her in here, she's fully embraced her sexuality. She's embraced who she is as a woman, all right? And the power that comes with that. For some of us, making sure that we're taking care of our sexual health, that we're taking care of our organs, all right? That we are loving ourselves in that manner as well, okay? Let's see. So we have lovers. So not being afraid to come into connection with someone here. Not being afraid to come into connection with the self. Because don't forget, we have embracing the shadow, and we have the two characters here. The idea of her coming into contact, into loving energy with her shadow, acknowledging that energy. And so we want to love ourselves fully, love the light, and love the darker aspects of the self. That's what the lover's card is initially. We have to love ourselves before we love others. Um, Loving enough and to the highest degrees so that we can be vulnerable for others. So that when somebody comes into when we come into a soul connection, that we're able to be free in those connections. We're not hiding. All right. If you're dealing with if you're hiding the shadow, then you're hiding yourself from others. And then past life. So some of us are dealing with bringing things to light from the past. The Lenormand reading I did earlier was similar to this, or talked a little bit about this. So those shadow elements that we've tucked neatly away, or things that we've pushed away, or things that we might not be aware of. So bringing those things to light, asking Spirit to illuminate those things for us so we can bring it out for healing and acknowledgement, right? Pachamama deals with the healing energy. So we want to bring those things up. On the bottom, we have forgiveness. So forgiving ourselves for anything that we might have done in the past. The sexuality card comes up. Maybe we haven't treated our bodies the way we wanted to, in the past. Maybe we've done things. Spirit is saying those things are in the past, okay? Everything can be brought up for healing. It's time to start loving the body now. It's time to start embracing all aspects of ourselves now, all right? And realizing that even the darker elements, those things are needed, like I said earlier, for our spiritual work and our spiritual growth. Right? We realize we don't operate in that all the time, but we also know that that's a part of who we are. All right? Things that are not to be hidden and pushed down in the deepest corners of the spirit. It has to be brought up. All right? So let's see. So forgiving ourselves, that brings about the purification. Okay? Once you forgive yourself for any wrongdoings against the self, all right? That's how you move forward. If you've done something to harm someone else, you go to spirit with that, and you go to the source. You go to source with that, and you say, maybe at a certain point in time, I wasn't the best to myself. Maybe I wasn't the best to certain people. But angels, spirit, I ask you to come, come into my heart now and help me move past those things, okay? Because we all are learning, we all are growing, and nobody is perfect. And we give thanks for that, because life wouldn't be exciting if we were. All right, so let's get 2 cards from the Soul Wisdom. Some of us, too, in order to move into loving connections, we need to forgive the ones from the past. Forgive connections from the past. Forgive people who might have hurt or harmed us from the past, so that we can move forward, okay, and move into a greater state of purification here with the quartz crystal. All right, so let's just get 2. No. If those come up, this is talkative today. If those come up again, I'll take them. There's just too many clumped up. All right, so let's see. Passion and love, ignite your wild desires. So one thing we have going on here with Lilith and this power card, embracing the shadow, all these things. But certainly Lilith with power, her sexual power, and we had sexuality earlier. It's time to come on out and be free, all right? It's time to come on out and love passionately. First, you're loving yourself. When you love yourself passionately, you can move into a passionate connection, all right? Where you can be vulnerable. Vulnerable just means you're showing your full self. There's no fear. There's no fear. And if you come into a loving connection where you both are understanding the light and shadow aspects, then you don't have to hide who you are. This person's going to have a better have an understanding of who you are, and that's what we're looking for when we're looking for sexual romantic partnerships. And then we have transformation. You are changing step by step. So, and then blue, big angel hug, embraced by pink wings of pure love on the bottom. So realize that you're always loved, okay? Realize that you're always loved and you're always cared for, especially in the spirit realm, no matter what you see, no matter what you see around you. But Spirit is saying that you're going through a powerful transformation, right? As we're transforming, especially as we're getting older, we have to still work harder and really work on loving the body, loving the self more and more and more. All right, for some it comes easier to love the self more as they get older, as they move into different phases of life. But for some it becomes a little bit harder, and so we need to always be tender and gentle with the self. Okay, let's see. I love these cards so much. Courage and determination. Be brave. You've got this. All right, so Spirit is saying that you're powerful here. We have all this energy of power on the board. You're at a time now in your life where you can bring this to the forefront, where you can walk with this power. There should be, try to work on removing any fears of showing your full self here, right? Those who love you will love you. Spirit will always love you. But those who don't understand you will quickly fade away or slowly fade away. But eventually you'll look around and maybe you might be by yourself. But at least you know who you are, all right? Or you're working to know who you are. And that's more powerful than being around a bunch of people who don't see you for who you are and don't acknowledge or respect you for who you are. So that's what we want to work towards, all right? Peace.